Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlights, our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we find out what's going on in our city, what's going on in our state, what's going on in our country, how can we best apply this information for us to become a more connected community of English-speaking locals living here in Puerto Vallarta. That's what we do here. We share news, we share gossip, we share interesting information, we ask questions of one another, and we are absolutely and perfectly harmless in doing so. Just kidding. We get snarky, and that's part of the fun. My name is Paco, and today is Saturday, August 14. So we are in the weekend now. And today, as always, we have all kinds of news that we're going to share with you. If you are new to the broadcasts, just grab your favorite cup of coffee or your iced coffee or your tea or your water or your beer or your shot, whatever it is that you want to drink this morning, and just sit back, take a look at what goes on. If you want to let us know who you are, just write the word new in your comments and we'll give you a nice little welcome. If you have questions or comments, just share them with you. And if there's something truly important that you wish for us to acknowledge, just add the letter Q at the beginning of your comment. Before I forget, and I've been meaning to do this for the past few days, I'm going to activate a poll because I have become interested in Zoom as a platform. And I have a couple of plans up my sleeve. And I'm just curious as to whether you have successfully participated in a Zoom meeting. And when I say successfully, I mean, did the sound work? Were you able to figure out the video, and so forth and so on? So the poll should be on your screen. Just let me know out of curiosity whether you are familiar with the platform. If you have any comments about your experiences with Zoom, where am I going with that? I'm not ready to tell you, but I've been learning Zoom myself because I think it's going to become an interesting and important extension to what we do here. But now that I got that out of the way, oh my goodness, how could I not acknowledge this comment out of order? But how about coffee with a shot of Kahlua? You know, my choice, Cindy, is coffee with Baileys. But hey, girl, you know, whatever floats your boat. And speaking of whatever floats your boat, yesterday I implied, it was showing you my t-shirt, that it was a gay t-shirt. And somebody said, well, what if the guy in the t-shirt is interested in women and not gay boys? And to the person that said that, and I haven't read all the comments from yesterday, but hey, girl, it was a woman who asked, you know, what, maybe the guy in the t-shirt is interested in middle-aged women. And I said to her, and I say to you, you know, if that feeds your fantasy, go for it, because you can have your fantasy and I can have mine, and we can all be happy. Speaking of happy, let's go into the news. There's all kinds of things to slice and dice, but actually the first bit of news makes me very happy. So let us just jump and go there. Bam. Okay, cuarentones, hang on to your sleeves because the second vaccine for folks in their 40s, or cuarentones, as we say in Spanish, is coming this next week. It will take place from Tuesday to Friday at La Lija and the Naval Hospital as usual. So this is good news. And also, in the case of, as it was the case in the latest campaign for folks in their 50s, this upcoming campaign is only for folks that have already received their first shot. Yay. So if you are in your 40s, if you're a cuarenton or a cuarentona, this is going to be the week to do it. So this is a good thing. A not so good thing, Mexico as a country broke its own record 2 days ago with its own daily record with 24,975 new COVID cases reported this past Thursday. This is the highest number of daily new cases in the country since the pandemic began. This places Mexico in the 14th place in number of cases and 14th place in number of COVID cases, and in the 4th place when it comes to deaths from COVID, behind the United States, Brazil, and India. That is not good at all. Closer to home, Nayarit broke its own record once again, registering 449 new cases and 25 deaths on a single day this past Thursday. So clearly, this is far from over. We know what to do, and we know how to do it well. Face masks and vaccination and all the good stuff that we've talked about. Now, shifting gears, and as it is to be expected, many experts have come forth to highlight the mess Puerto Vallarta has become when it comes to disorderly real estate development. In a recent interview, Jose Alfonso Baños, a highly regarded local architect expert in sustainable development, broke down the different areas in the city as they relate to current and upcoming projects. According to him, development is pretty much done in the hotel zone since there's no more land available. Versalles is presently going through a marked conversion in a place where many new projects are and will be taking place in the future. Cinco de Diciembre is also beginning to gentrify. El Centro, that is north of the Rio Cuale, has been largely protected because of what it represents to the city, this image of a small little town. So clearly, the city must be very reluctant to tear down all the old casitas in El Centro. But the real mess is in Emiliano Zapata and the South Shore. In fact, the real estate boom that has been taking place in the recent years in these areas has created a housing emergency for locals that have been displaced from these areas of the city due to the fact that real estate developers have their priorities set only on tourists or those that can afford the costly new projects instead of favoring developments that benefit the population at large. Greedy. Now, Puerto Vallarta is not alone here. This other article showcases that similar situations are taking place in Bucerías, La Cruz de Guanacaste, and Sayulita. This is north of the border in the state of Nayarit, where a number of constructions have been built on hillsides where the ground can become unstable during the rain season. Of the 3 destinations, Sayulita has become the worst offender, with not only new construction, but also current owners that are adding extra rooms to their existing homes so that they can rent them to national or international tourists, with said constructions not always executed under code. So what can we do about this? What can be done? Well, Jalisco's Attorney's Office for the Environment and Territorial Development, or PROFEPA, has recently posted a telephone number where you and I, can report any type of construction anomaly in the following categories. This says that they inspect and watch over tequila factories, sugar manufacturers, transformation industry, public works, private works, and places where there are geological, like mineral ores or archaeology and things like that. So if you see a construction that doesn't look like it should be happening, there is a number that we can all call. And I'm going to leave this information in the show notes so that we can be aware of this. This is different than the number that we posted just yesterday or the day before for the Reglamentos office, which we use in case we see a business that is not behaving the way they should during the pandemic. Speaking of pandemic and businesses that behave or don't behave, this is the weirdest bit of news for today. Did you know that there are only 17 bars in Puerto Vallarta? Seriously, there's only 17 bars in the city. According to this news note, only 17 establishments have a bar license in the whole city. Everybody else either has a bar restaurant license or is operating under God-given license. I don't know. And this becomes relevant because the financial aid our state has promised to bar employees because they have to close through the whole month, it is coming, but it will only benefit those employees working for the 17 bars that actually have bar licenses. So if you work at a bar, if you're an employee at a bar, if you're a bartender at a bar with a restaurant license, and your boss, the owner, thought it was going to be a good idea to get a restaurant license just in case a pandemic happened to show up unannounced, you are still screwed. You are not going to be eligible to that financial aid. Tómala. Moving right along, we reported recently that some maintenance had taken place at Los Muertos Pier, but apparently it was only what we Mexicans call a shineada. And a shineada comes from the English word shine. A shineada is when you polish something slightly just to make it look shiny or pretty, but you don't really fix it. You see, the state and the municipality of Puerto Vallarta continue to throw the pier maintenance ball at each other. And the bottom line is that Los Muertos Pier will continue to deteriorate until and unless local and state governments see eye to eye in as far as who's going to fork up the funds needed to maintain this important Puerto Vallarta icon. And that is a real shame. That's all I'm going to say about that. Because it's pretty, but it's becoming very not so pretty very quickly. Moving on to other matters, we've mentioned vehicle verification a couple of times. According to this item, it won't be until the first quarter of 2022 that verification will come to Puerto Vallarta. So we don't need to worry about the well-being of our cars and vehicles just yet. We don't need to worry about procedures and guidelines. But I thought I would mention this so that you would know about it. And I see that Jorge is laughing. I can't believe, Jorge, you had not heard about the shineada. It's a very common phrase down here. Continuing with our news, Governor Alfaro visited Costalegre, the southernmost part of the state, where he announced that the development of the new Chalacatepec airport will continue. I dare you to try saying that word, Chalacatepec. The airport, which has been mentioned off and on over the past decade, will further detonate tourism in the region, complementing the Puerto Vallarta and Manzanillo airports. Why is this so important? Well, let's take a look at our trusty Google Maps so that we can add some context to this situation. Here's Guadalajara. Guadalajara has an airport. Here's Puerto Vallarta. Puerto Vallarta has an airport. Here is the state of Colima. There is the city of Manzanillo, and Manzanillo has an airport. And here is the lower half of our state, or what we know as Costa, Careyes, Costalegre. And there's a lot of money there. There's a lot of developments. There's a lot of beauty and gorgeous beaches and affluent people that have properties there. But if you're staying anywhere here, you're like in the middle of nowhere if you want to fly down there. Presently, and I know this from people that have worked in hotels in Costa Careyes, you have to fly to Puerto Vallarta and then just take a fancy bus or something or a van so that you can get to where you want to go. But if we zoom into this general area, we can see we're getting closer. There's Chalacatepec, and you see this strip here? That's the landing strip. See, it's already there, and I don't even know if it's usable or not. If like people have actually used it to land with private planes. But the landing strip is already there. Now the governor has announced that this will be developed. So it'll be very, very interesting to see if and when this happens. No further information was provided at this time. So these are the news that we have before we turn over to the weather. And as long as we're talking about the weather, we might as well go there. Bam! Our weather says, Earth told me to thank each and every one of you for doing your part to make July the hottest month ever recorded. This is true. We didn't bring this up in the news, but apparently in the last 147 years that the weather has been recorded throughout the globe, this past month of July was the hottest month of July ever recorded since they started tracking this over 100 years ago. There's not much we can do about that, but what we can do something about is the temperature, which is 28 degrees right now, feels like 33. Humidity is at 88%. Somebody mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast that it was going to be a hot day, and it looks like it's going to be. Let's take a look at the weather forecast. And the weather forecast tells us that we're going to expect some rain and humidity through the day with a high temperature of 31, low temperature of 24. Tomorrow, Sunday, rain and humidity through the day with a high temperature of 31 and 24 is the low temperature. And Monday, rain starting in the afternoon with the same high and low temperatures of 31 and 24. How about that? Let me switch gears and take us to Mexico City, where images of last night's celebration have started to emerge. Last night, Mexico City celebrated the 500th anniversary of the fall of Tenochtitlan in Mexico City. And as we can see through this one particular photograph, we can see that the video mapping that takes place on this replica of the Templo Mayor is absolutely spectacular. The projection itself lasts about 15 minutes, I read somewhere, and it's going to be scheduled nightly 3 times per evening and will be available for all to enjoy until September 1st. Meanwhile, we will continue to search for good footage of the whole light show to see if we can share this with you at some point. I am sure that the government is probably preparing some fancy video that we will see released at some point. The last thing that I want to share with you, before I share the last thing, I'm happy to see that 77% of you have successfully attended a Zoom meeting, whereas 23% of you have not. This makes me feel very happy and hopeful, and happy that I'm investing in some time in learning how to do the Zoom thing, because we are looking at the possibility of virtual hangouts where we can actually have a back and forth conversation. We're looking at the possibility of music appreciation through Zoom. I don't want to get too excited just yet, because even though as a participant, it is fairly easy to jump on a Zoom meeting, from the other end, the host, in this case, yours truly, has to ensure, and particularly because we're talking about music, that the broadcast sounds good, that the music is being put out in high fidelity to provide the best possible experience. That's what I'm spending a lot of my free time these days, researching, and hope that in the future we will be able to do something along those lines. The last thing that I want to talk about today is quinceañeras. Quinceañera is a word that applies both to a very specific celebration and a woman that has turned 15 years of age. In Mexico, the celebration of the quinceañera is a very traditional rite of passage for young girls that become young women at the age of 15. And the parties that are celebrated have all kinds of ritual to them. There are specific dances that are done between the girl and the father, and she has chambelanes or chamberlains and so forth and so on. It is a beautiful, very Mexican ritual that has transcended to many countries and in Central and South America, and quite possibly also to the Latino communities in the United States. Anyone should not consider themselves a local until you have been invited to attend a quinceañera party, because they are very, very unique celebrations. Why are we talking about quinceañeras? Well, there was that girl in the United States that recently graduated from school in the States, and she had her graduation pictures taken at the fields where her parents worked, as a way to thank them for supporting her through her studies. Well, now there is this girl in Mexico that has taken over social media, because for her quinceañera photographs, and yes, of course, there has to be a fancy quinceañera dress. That is absolutely essential. And and this is touching and meaningful, because the girl's father works at a garbage dump. I think it's in the city of Monterrey. So, in order to show gratitude to her parents, she decided to have her photographs taken at the dump where her father works. She said, I am not ashamed of this. He has worked very hard for me to have everything I need. And I just wanted to share this with you, because it gave me that feel good that I like. And I hope it gives you a feel good. I think it's beautiful that the girl, whose name is Diana, decided to have these photographs, and her photographs have gone viral. They have been shared many times. And there you go. And there she is with her father and all the team at the garbage dump. I hope that gives you a little bit of a feel-good feeling. It gave me the goosebumps. And I think we're there. Yes, we're there. Now let's take a quick look at your comments, just to see what everybody is thinking, and we will take it from there. Let's see. Lots of hellos as every morning. I'm very grateful for those. Ba-dim-pam-boom, ba-dim-pum-boom. Oh, it was David that said it is going to be a hot day here in Emiliano Zapata. Well, it is probably going to be, David. I hope you're still enjoying your time away from Massachusetts and you're having a good time here in our city. Alan asks a rhetorical question. Is it safe? So I'm going to answer rhetorically, and I'll say, we don't know, honey, but it's going to feel really good. There you go. And I need my ba-dum-boom for that. There you go. Is it safe? Who knows? You're going to love every inch of it. Let's see what else we have. I'm having Thai for lunch today. I'm going to Siam Cuisine, so I'm in a great mood. Let's see what else we have. Oh my God, and we found out who's responsible for the construction of that thing that fell down. The names would surprise you. I'm going to save that for another broadcast. But now we know who are the people that are signing the checks in that construction project that just went south. Crazy. Let's see. Lots of feedback from Zoom. Folks use Zoom regularly. This is good. Thank you very much. La la dee la la. Even friends are sending me private messages saying, if you need help learning it, let me know. I'm going to do a series of Zoom informal gatherings just so that I can get my feet wet. Carlos had said early in the broadcast, we need another highway heading down to Tuito. There's a lot of traffic heading south. Well, Carlos, pretty soon we're going to be able to hop on your private plane and fly instead of taking the road. Karen says, always had audio problems in every attempt to Zoom, gave up. Yes, I'm concerned about that. I don't want to get started because I sometimes see people have technical problems getting into this broadcast. I am mindful of the fact that it has a learning curve. We'll have to figure out how we're going to circumvent that. Let's see. Ta-da. Yay! Oh, Logan, thank you. Yes. Go get vaccinated on the first day. Go in the early afternoon. And you'll be on the other side of that fence. The question about Zoom was a yes or a no. Yes, that's what it was. Uh, if in your 40s or over, you can get your second AstraZeneca next week. I would like to know where you read that, Heather, not to contradict or anything, because everything that I have read has said that it is only for people getting second shots. If you have a source and you can share the URL with us, I would be extremely grateful, because I don't want to encourage people to go somewhere when they're not being called for it. So let us know where you read that. Much appreciated. Um, let's see. I was amazed at the price of new condos in Bucerias. I'm not surprised, Terry. Let's see. Lots of comments about Zoom. Let's see. More Zoom, more Zoom, more Zoom. Jorge was amused by the shineada. It's like, if you're going to go out with your friends and you're going to get a little pretty, all you need is a little shineada. I have been excited about Chalacatepec. I have a house in Punta Perula. If you have a swimming pool, I can see in the future the big meet, the big coffee and headlines meet at Angelica's swimming pool in Punta Perula. I am game. When is it? When is it? And what do we need to bring? Let's see. Logan says, yes, much like the new highway from Guadalajara, we have been hearing about this new airport for about at least a decade. Yes, absolutely. It is such a lovely drive to Cabo Corrientes. Yes, that's true. I've only gotten so far down there. I haven't gotten as far as I would like to go, but what I have seen is truly spectacular. The coast is just, oh, it's just beautiful. And there's a lot of mini beaches and so forth. Oh, pardon my language, but that fucking airport landing strip was built about 10 years ago. There are signs on the highway for the airport, but there is no fucking airport. Sometimes the landing strip is full of cows, cow shit, and car tires. Anna, goodness, I don't understand why this makes you so fucking angry. But do let us know what sparked such colorful metaphors. This must really offend you, because that was one F bomb, two F bombs in one comment. You topped me, girl. You topped me. So do let me know why this makes you so upset. I may be able to recommend some medication or send some brownies your way. The fucking airport. But she apologized. You did say, pardon my French. But I'm curious. Why are you so fucking upset about the fucking airport? Did I hear about the quinceañera de Rubí in San Luis Potosí? Absolutely. This was like 5 years ago. Some parent decided to invite everybody on Facebook to attend the quinceañera for his daughter, Rubí, in San Luis Potosí, and it became a huge event, because then it became viral, and all kinds of people said, "Oh, we're going to Rubí's quinceañera," and I don't even remember if a lot of people showed up or not. But it was one of those things in which the father was probably not thinking. And he said, I want to invite everyone to my daughter's quinceañera. And all kinds of people, like famous people and celebrities, everybody kept saying, oh, yeah, let's go to Rubí's quinceañera. It was really, really funny. Let's see. Nice comments about the girl that had her quinceañera. This is great. Jorge read about this, and yes, it was in Monterrey, my hometown. That's the tomala sound. Oh my goodness. Let's see what else here. New here. Oh, we have a new person. Yay, everybody in your best behavior. Tyler Ryan Miller is holding a guitar, and that is a bonus in well, let's just say that I have a thing for guitarists and drummers. So Tyler, welcome. If you're cute, send me a photo. If you're available, let me know. No, I'm just kidding. This is what we do. I am glad that you're enjoying the broadcast, and always feel free to ask questions. If they're stupid questions, we'll let you know. If they're good questions, we'll let you know. That's the way it goes around here. Let's see what else we have. Do I mean the project that went downhill? Yes, I mean the project that went downhill. Um, let's see. And I'm sure Mark is asking because I said that we know the identity of the people behind the project. There's an article. I didn't want to bring it up because we had a lot of things to talk about today as it is. And these people are not going to go anywhere, so they can wait. Um, oh my God. We did Zoom cocktails with our neighbors every Wednesday for over a year. That sounds like a beautiful ritual. How wonderful is that? Zoom is great. It doesn't require pants, says Alan Shepard. Well, I'll tell you a secret, Alan. Doing coffee and headlines doesn't require pants either. Uh, there you go. I hope this N stands for new. Anthony says, we have lived in Conchachinas for 5 years now. We are so happy to be here. Your show has helped our transition to this beautiful area. Oh, Anthony, you just made my day. That's what we're here for, to connect locals with here. So that makes me very happy. This is what we're about. Not about tourists, but people that live here that want to get more of a bang for your buck. Go out, explore the city, find out the cool places to go, so forth and so on. So this makes me very, very happy. Um, I want to see Paco have the zoomies. What does have the zoomies mean? I wonder, Mike, if it means that I get up in an accident and I flash my junk. Um, that could happen. That could happen. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint, Angelica. I'm busy. I'm busy until you build a swimming pool. No, I'm just kidding. No, the Punta Perula is a beautiful place. I've been there once, and that's probably about as south as I've been down to Costalegre. So, thank you very much for the invitation. Uh, Yikes, sorry. I intended to say that those older than their 40s can go for their second shot as well. Oh, okay. So I have not read that either, Heather. So again, thank you for letting us know. The way I read it, the way I've seen it, and I'm ready to be corrected if I'm wrong, is that the vaccination campaign is going to be for folks in their 40s looking for their second shot, period. However, it's only Saturday. This doesn't start until Tuesday, so we will have at least the weekend to clarify this. But again, if you are in your 50s and you're missing a second shot, be on standby because you know how these things go. They announce them and they announce them overnight without much anticipation. So we'll try to get this sorted out as best as possible before the campaign actually begins. These are important things. Um, what is a typical gift for a quinceañera? I don't know, Christine, because I'm a single boy. And my family lives far away, so it's not like I have quinceañera, quinceañera affairs going on a regular basis. But I do know that quinceañeras often look for a padrino or a godfather who ends up forking the bill for the event. But above and beyond that, what would be a good gift for a quinceañera is, what would be a typical gift for a quinceañera? I'm not entirely sure. In this day and age, I would be inclined to speak either with the parents or the quinceañera herself and say, what do you really want and what do you really need? Because just in general, birthdays, anniversaries, any kind of thing, spending money or resources on something that might be cute and funny, but not ultimately useful or important is a dicey one. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Raymond is definitely back. Dating guitarists is tricky. There are always strings attached. Whoa. Vaccination for 40 plus. Only vaccinate those who are 40 plus that received their first dose during June. If you are over 40 and got your first dose in June, with this age group, you may attend for a second dose. No first doses, but again, we'll clarify this. We'll clarify this as we move forward, just to make sure that we're on the proper page. Da, 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 da. Let's see what else. More welcomes. You guys are great. When you give the welcome to other people, it's just awesome. You show that you're an amazing community. Let's see. Oh, Zoomies are midnight crazies, fur and blur, or whatever you want to call it, is when our pets experience inexplicable bursts of intense energy. Okay. Um, I get that way, but that has nothing to do with Zoom. I get that way when I get excited about something. But I'll look this up. This is fascinating. There's a question here, Paco. Is there no vaccine for people who never got the first vaccination? Brenda Lee, I haven't seen any notices for people under that category for the last two campaigns. Um, and I don't know if and when the government will handle this group of the population. I do know that there were many opportunities for people, or there have been many opportunities for people to get on board the vaccination um, train, if we call it something. But we are always vigilant about these things, Brenda Lee. If we find out that such a vaccination campaign comes, we will definitely find out, and we will definitely share that information. Beep, 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 bum, 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 bum. Raymond Pun. That's another pun. Raymond Pun, you are so quick. I love it, says Bronica. This is wonderful. And we are at the end of our comments. Today was fun. Thank you so much. It's Saturday. Let us try to have fun during the weekend. Let us try to think about how much we enjoy these broadcasts and look at this link so that we can make sure that they continue happening. That was such a bad hint. It's not even funny. No, seriously. I hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. I hope you enjoy connecting with yours truly and with one another and with the destination here at Coffee and Headlines. We endeavor to provide entertainment even when the news are not so much good, not so much fun, or not positive all the time. But have a great Saturday. Have a great Sunday. Tomorrow is our day off. We'll be back on Monday morning as usual. So between now and then, stay healthy, stay kind, drink Baileys, eat tacos, say hello, do nice things for your friends, and feed your squirrels, as we can see Christy is heading to do that. So go feed your squirrels. That sounds dirty. Isn't that dirty? I don't know. Feed your squirrel. That sounds dicey. Anyhow, go have a great day already. Goodbye.